Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing another acrylic look. So I'm showing you guys how I prep my flexi finger flexi hand, and so I'm using these oval full cover tips that I got off of Amazon, and I prefer these over the tips that they give you because they're a little bit cheaper and you get a bunch more, and then you can save them for later and use them as displays. But I just go in and I size the tips, which is really easy. And then here I'm taking my mandrel, and I use a coarse on my flexi hand just because I can get a bunch of uses out of it. But I'm just going to rough up what is acting as our natural nail plate. So you just rough it up, and then I'm going to apply my tips. If you guys are interested in a silicone practice hand, I would really recommend this. I love this so much. I have a few videos already up on my channel showing me using this hand, so you can get an idea of how it looks and how it works. But I also have a code, it's SnappedBySydd10 I believe. I'll have it linked down below. So after I've etched up the natural nail plate, I'm going to take these EC basket nails that I got off of Amazon. These are also full cover, and I'm going to take my KDS glue, and I use full cover tips as regular tips. You can do that. I prefer to do that just because I have a bunch of tips that I had left over from when I was doing press-ons the first time around. So to get rid of them, I just use them as regular tips, and they come pre-shaped and everything, so it works perfectly fine. But I just use my KDS glue and I apply the tips, and then you're gonna see me start blending the tips. So you can do this with your mandrel, or you can do this with just a regular file. So while we're watching this, I did just want to thank you guys so much, everybody who has recently subscribed to my channel and who has been commenting and liking and subscribing and doing all of that. Currently at 66 subscribers, which is really encouraging and such a blessing. So I'm really excited for that, and I just want to thank you guys so much for watching my channel and for commenting and liking. It's been like a really fun journey. I'm going to try my hardest to get back onto a more consistent schedule. As you guys know, my plan is to post Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I'm trying to get back in that schedule. But with nail school and then me being pregnant, which actually I've had the baby by now, a few weeks ago, so it's just been a little hectic in my life. I also started a press-on nail company, which will soon turn into a full-on nail accessory company. I want to kind of go more into selling acrylics and nail tips and different things like that. So working on all of that stuff just kind of is all compiled together right now at this time. So YouTube has been put on the back burner for a little bit, but I'm hoping that after this video is up, we can get on a more consistent upload schedule. So thank you guys again for just sticking with me and still supporting, and it's really just been such a great journey so far. So just a tip for any of my beginner nail techs, I really prefer using tips that are already shaped. It helps with your shaping so much. So if you can get some different size tips, I would recommend getting a square tip as well as getting coffin, and even getting some of those long stiletto tips. It'll help with your shaping so much. It'll change your life, I promise you. So now I'm just taking one of my nail brushes, and I have some acetone on it, and I'm just wiping off all of the dust. A brush would work better for this hand, but I didn't have my brush. And then I'm taking a lint-free wipe, and I'm taking acetone again, and I'm just going to try and wipe more dust off, and this will also act as a dehydrator. And now I'm going to take my OPI Bond Aid, and this is a primer, so I'm priming what would be the natural nail. I'm just showing you guys. I don't do this really on my practice hand, but if it was a real person, I would. Now I'm taking this acrylic that I mixed myself. If you guys are interested in seeing the whole process of me mixing it and everything, I do have videos like that on my TikTok. So check out my TikTok. It's SnappedBySydd, the same as my YouTube username. So I'm practicing ombres in this video. So I just place a bead a little bit above the free edge of the nail, and then you blend it out and wipe it down. I am using a size, I want to say this is a size 12 brush. It may be a size 14. I'm not quite sure, but this is a way bigger brush than I'm used to using. I normally use an 8, but I'm trying to get in the habit of like being able to use different size brushes, which is why I'm using this. So like the consistency of my beads is kind of all over the place in this video, as well as like my application is a little bit all over the place because I'm not used to using such a big brush, and this brush held so much monomer, and it just was like a work in progress trying to use this brush and figure it out. So please bear that in mind, but I would recommend getting different size brushes so you can figure out which one works best for you. I've heard bigger brushes are better for when you are like actually in the field doing nails and clients because you can work faster. So that's why I'm personally trying to start practicing with it as I get closer to being licensed. I would like to, I'm working on my time and my application and everything so that I'm not making people wait 3 years for me to do their nails. So on the pinky, I actually went in sideways with the beads. Like I turned the brush sideways a little bit, and that actually worked really well. So I think that may help. I'm going to try that again tonight when I'm practicing. You'll see that that'll be my next video. I'm going to be doing some forms tonight. And so I'm going to try and go in sideways with the beads because that seemed to work the best. I think my pinky was the best finger that I did in this set. So now I'm going to be going in with the nude color. This is a nude mix that I mixed myself using a Mia Secret powder and some clear and another nude powder. And so I can't tell you exactly how to get this color, but yeah, so I'm just placing a few beads. I placed one a little bit below the cuticle area, and then I placed one on the cuticle area and blend it down. And you want to work with wetter beads when doing ombres. That will help to get that blend a little bit more perfect. And I've also found letting it set up a little bit, the bead, and then trying to swipe it down will help to get that more like seamless effect that you want to get when doing ombres. I still struggle with ombres a lot, as you guys can see in this video. It's not perfect by any means, but it's just what I've found so far, like practicing, but I still have like a long way to go. So I think so far the biggest issue that I've found with using a bigger brush is that I flood the cuticles more, which I already have an issue of doing like already without, using a bigger brush. So I have found that it's a lot easier to flood the cuticle, and then it's a lot easier to pick up wetter beads. So you really have to drain your brush a lot more because it holds so much monomer, which I'm not using a size 8 brush. If you guys ever want to see me do anything in particular or do a video on a specific topic, then definitely let me know down in the comments below. I am going to be having more videos coming out about press-on nails and like opening a online nail store coming soon because I'm in the process of working on that. By the way, my website has launched. If you guys follow me on my social media, then you will know that. So if you guys are interested, my website is now SnappedBySydd.com, which is the same as my YouTube username. Everything is the same as my YouTube username. So it'll also be linked down below, but check it out if you guys are interested. And if you guys are also wanting to like start a store or start a press-on nail business or anything like that, I do want to do more business related videos that show the whole process of like doing your website, creating your branding, starting like doing a logo, figuring out like how to price your products, all of that stuff. I want to do videos kind of more related on that as well. I love doing the nail videos, but I feel like in the nail community we don't get enough information of how to actually run our companies and our businesses as a business, and I feel like that doesn't benefit us. Like I feel like it's really hard to get information on how do you work with wholesalers, how do you work with distributors, how do you find these people, how do you get yourself in a position to where you can like work for yourself and whatnot. So I'm going to be doing a lot of videos related on that coming up, as well as doing some just videos of me doing press-ons and everything. So if you guys want to see any particular looks or me do any like hacks or trends or anything, then let me know down below. Anyway, sorry I went on a little bit of a rant, but now I'm going to be taking this glitter that I got from the Target craft section. and I'm just using a clear bead and then dipping it into the glitter and placing it onto the nail. And this is how I do my loose glitter nails. This is what I find to be the easiest. I also show you the method of laying down the acrylic first and then going in with the glitter, but I just find this way to be a little bit better and easier for me personally. It picks up more glitter. Thought I would update you guys on nail school because those are my most popular videos. Anyway, so I am currently still in nail school. In the state that I live in, which is Colorado, we are required to do 600 hours before we're allowed to take our test. So I currently have 210 more hours to do, so I'm more than halfway through my program. But I've been taking a lot of breaks and everything because I was pregnant, and then I was having a baby and coronavirus and a whole bunch of other things. So I have prolonged my journey a little bit, and I will be doing probably a more in-depth video of my nail school update because there are some things that are probably changing in the next few weeks. We'll see, not quite sure about that yet, but yeah, I have 210 hours left and I'm super excited to get that done. That is about 8 weeks of doing a part-time schedule at my school, so it's kind of a long time. It feels like a long time. I'm ready to be graduated. I'm tired of being in nail school. I'm just like ready to be licensed and allowed to do nails on people and everything, even though I probably won't in the beginning because I am scared of coronavirus. I don't want to get coronavirus. I don't want to give it to anybody, so I probably will not be doing clients for a while with coronavirus going on. But still, I'm excited to be a licensed nail tech and have that title under my belt. So stay tuned for a more in-depth video of that, but so far everything's going good. I thought I would update you guys a little bit on my baby that I just had. I had him on September 25th at 9:11 p.m. I was 41 weeks. I was a week late. It was terrible. They were going to induce me, but I ended up kind of having him without being induced. They gave me like half of a dose of the medicine that softens your cervix, and I had him 2.5 hours later. So it was a crazy experience. Recovery has been a little bit crazy, also because I do have a 17-month-old at home as well. So things have been a little bit hectic over here, but he is great. His name is Nolan. It's a little boy, and yeah, things have been going really well. Now what you guys are going to see me do is cap all of the nails in clear. So especially when doing ombre and glitter nails, you have to you have to cap your nails in clear, or else when you go in and file, you will be filing away the product and then you will not get the same look. So I'm just going ahead and capping everything in clear. I tried to make the other layers of the color acrylics and the glitter a little bit more thin, and then I build my apex and everything with the clear. That's how I personally like to do it. I was taught that colored acrylic is not meant to be, like, you're not supposed to build the structure with the colored acrylic. It's kind of more supposed to just, like, you place it for the color and then you build on top of it or below it for the structure. So that's how I do it personally. I do find too, when you're doing ombre, that the clear acrylic actually kind of filters the ombre a little bit more. So the ombre can look really rough when it's just the color acrylic on the nail, but when you add on that clear, it kind of softens the look and blurs it a little bit. So that's really nice. Keep that in mind when you're practicing with your ombres. Don't be too hard on it and don't try and make it too perfect, because I feel like the more perfect you make it, the worse it ends up looking, because ombre is not necessarily supposed to be a perfect look, if that makes sense. It's kind of supposed to look more effortless than perfect. So now that I'm done clear capping all of my nails, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to refine the shape of the nails. So I am perfecting it as much as I can. Some of it will be done when I go in with my e-file, but I'm just kind of trying to get everything in a more uniform fashion. And then I'm going to go in with my e-file. So now I'm going to be replacing my mandrel, and I'm going to be using this ceramic bit. I'm not sure what it's called. I'm terrible with my bit names, but I'm going to be using this to go in and just smooth out the entire nail. So I start out with doing the cuticle area, and then I go down the nail. My application is pretty smooth at this point, so I really don't have to do much filing, but I'm just making sure I'm filing up the sides and around that cuticle area especially, and sealing that area up, as well as, like I said, filing the sides and kind of debulking the sides and getting that perfect shape in, which of course is not perfect, but you can try. Every time I watch other nail tech videos, the filing part is always my favorite part. It's just so like satisfying to see the dust, and like dusty nails are my favorite. I love dusty nail pictures. So this part is always my favorite. I wish that I could do it in real time, but my video would be so long if I showed all of the filing I do in real time. It would be a long process. So actually with this nail, I accidentally made one side of the nails a little bit bulkier than the other side at the end of the free edge. So make sure you're looking at your nails from all different angles so you can see like if for some reason like one side is more bulky than the other side, and then you can make sure you're actually evening out those nails and that they actually look nice and good. Something that I definitely need to focus on more, I feel like my application is pretty decent. I feel like my shaping is pretty decent, and I feel like my prepping is pretty decent. But I feel like my apex still needs a lot of work. Like if you look at that nail, it just looks a little bit flat. And so I feel like I need to really start focusing more on my apex now. I feel like that was something, even though that's like a really important part, I feel like that's something that we can kind of like not focus on in the beginning as beginner nail techs, because we want to make sure our shape is perfect and our application is smooth and that the nail looks all nice and perfect, and you can do that without making the apex, you know, perfect. So I feel like I have not focused on the apex like I should. So in my next few videos, I'm definitely going to be focusing more on my apex. As you can see, it's not terrible. The nail isn't flat necessarily, but I feel like my apex could just be a lot better and the structure of my nail could be better, and then my nails will last longer. So after I've gone in and I have debulked the shape and everything, I go back in with my file and I'm just, again, perfecting that shape and making sure that it's as nice and as perfect as I can get it. And then I'm also going over the top with the file and just kind of buffing out any of the lines that I created with my file. And then we're going to go in and we're going to top coat after this. So before I go in with my top coat, I'm just going to take a lint-free wipe again and take some acetone. As long as you do this really fast, it won't eat through the acrylics. It won't run into a problem with that. You can also use alcohol or like something like the Scrub Fresh or Swipe, I think is what Young Nails is called. You can use anything like that just to remove any of the dust. Now on silicone hands, they collect dust. It's almost impossible to remove all the dust off of your silicone hand. So 9 times out of 10, when you top coat or polish over a nail on a silicone hand, you'll have like tiny little areas where there was dust, which I don't really focus on too much. On a real person, it wouldn't be that difficult. You could just make them go wash their hands. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about buying or using a silicone hand. And depending on the look that you're going for, under your glitter nails, you can also polish underneath the nail since it is a little bit see-through to get it like crystal clear in the clear areas, but I didn't really care about that, so I didn't do that. But yeah, so I'm going to polish all of the fingers, and then I'm here in my LED light for 30 seconds. But anyway, that is the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for more, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.